Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm feeling very exposed right now. Don't look at me. I just wanted something really easy to take off once I need to change into the full get up. Now, I don't want to call this like really a tutorial because this is gonna be my first time ever, like off camera or on camera, doing a drag type of makeup look. Like, I have no idea like where to begin, like what I'm doing. I really wanted my first time to be with you folks and to share this experience with you. I have been watching like a ton of videos just trying to understand like the process of drag makeup because I feel like it's completely different than like normal makeup. So I have watched a few videos. Doesn't necessarily mean like I'm a pro because all the products that I have are not like drag makeup products. I feel like they use like thick foundation and like thick concealer. They also have a wig cap and I don't. I thought I did, so I feel like we're already starting off this video on a bad note, but that's okay. That's okay, because we're going to make it positive. I am positive that we are going to make it positive. So, if you want to see me go from this to this, then just keep on watching. I have a headband. Mainly because I don't have a wig cap, so this is gonna have to do for today. We're looking real cray right now. Like, let's not judge me. Like, let's just judge the finished product. She looks looking sporty. Duh. Switch into a voiceover because if not, I feel like this is gonna be a million years long. I also want to listen to music because I feel like that helps me get into the groove of it all. How cute is my case? Like, can we just? How many of you guys have been liking this song? Me. Okay, commence voiceover now. Alright, so we're first going to be taking a glue stick. This is just an Elmer's glue stick. Now you want to rub it on forward, backwards, upwards, downwards, in all directions to make sure you coat all your hairs evenly. Then I'm just going to be taking a brush and brushing it upwards and then as well as forward. That way every single hair is coated with glue. Then I'm going to be taking a metal spatula and just flattening it all down as closest to the skin as possible. And because brushing it the first time did take out some glue, we're just going to repeat these steps one more time. This is just going to help ensure that every single piece of hair is coated with glue. And again, this is totally not necessary if you have a really good eye space and lid space to create really extravagant eyeshadow looks, then just go ahead and do that. I don't. I have a really small lid space, so I feel like this really changes the look. Then you're going to repeat this step maybe 2 or 3 times depending on how flat you get it your first and second time. You may not have to do a third. Next, because during the makeup process my lips do get really dry and chappy, I'm going to put some of the Best Damn Beauty lip mask on my lips. And then to ensure that the brows are set, we're going to take the Coty Airspun and just pack it all over the brows. And you just want to make sure that the glue is dry before you set it. You don't want it too sticky. And then we're going to move on to priming the skin. This is a very important process because we're going to put on a lot of makeup. So I'm going to be taking 2 different Smashbox primers. One's going to be a Radiance one that's going to go all over the face, and then we're going to use the pore minimizing one. Now I stopped using this for a while because it kind of got clumpy, but I thought I'd try it again and I actually really do like it. I'm just going to put it in my T-zone areas. Then I'm going to be taking the LA Girl Pro Concealer, whoopsie, and just placing this pretty much all over my face, but it's just to help color correct any darker areas. Now I am going to be putting on quite a bit. I did notice in the drag videos that I did watch that, you know, more is more. There's no such thing as like too much. So I am gonna look a bit crazy for a bit and look like an Oompa Loompa, but don't mind me. Like, it's all gonna come together. One thing I had to keep reminding myself through this whole thing is to trust the process. Like, trust the process. There's gonna be times throughout this video that you'll see me like really frustrated because I'm just like, what is going on? But you just have to remember to trust the process. Next, I'm going to be taking my most full coverage foundation that I have. This is going to be the Jouer Cosmetics foundation. And then I'm also going to be mixing in some Estee Lauder and my EX foundation. Estee Lauder is just for more coverage. The EX was to darken it up a bit because the Jouer Cosmetics foundation is a little too light for me. Now, this combo actually was really nice, and it was a very full coverage, as you can see. And y'all are probably like, what the heck are you doing? That is so much makeup, but don't you worry, like, she's gonna look real snatched in the end. So once I place all the product with a brush, I'm just gonna go in and blend everything out with a beauty blender. Now, I tried to keep majority of the product on the bottom half of my face because I ran out. I had to do another mixture of the 3 foundations, and I didn't know if I was going to mix the proportions correctly, so I kind of just left my forehead, which I didn't really think mattered, out, and then I'm going to mix another set to add in there. And this set was actually a lot lighter than my first set, so what I did was just place it on the higher points of my face, and then where I felt I needed a little bit more coverage, which is going to be under my eye, on my chin, and then on my neck area. Well, it looks like I'm just applying it all over my face. Whatever. And then again, just taking a beauty blender and just blending it all out. This is the Morphe Beauty Blender, which I absolutely love, and it's super affordable. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely do so. Then I had to find my most full coverage concealer, and this is actually a foundation. This is the Dermablend, I believe, foundation, and I'm just going to be using it as a concealer because I wanted something thick and heavy, and this is really light too. But of course, you know, it had to be extra, and I took the Tarte Shape Tape concealer and applied that too. Then once I get all that placed, I'm just going to go ahead and blend everything out with my beauty blender. Now, I am using a different beauty blender because I didn't want to mix the foundation color with the concealer color because I really wanted this to be super stark white. And it is, girl. It is. That it is. And then I wanted a little bit more brightness right next to my eye, so I just applied a little bit more Shape Tape. This is in a really light shade. Now, this next step, I kind of regret it because of the color tones, but I think it all worked out in the end. But I'm going to be taking the Creme Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I am taking that the first darker shade in the palette, and then blending that out. But then I felt that it wasn't dark enough, so I went with the darker shade in the palette, but that didn't have a really nice undertone to it. It almost looked, I don't want to say gray, but it almost looked like a brown gray, and it just made me look dirty. In the end, I think with all the powder products that I place on top of it, it does eventually work out. But part of me just wishes like I didn't do this step. And you'll see I actually go in more with this product thinking that if I place more that it's going to work. Yeah, that was not the case. So if you have something that's a little bit better to cream contour with, I would recommend that over this contour kit. Just for my undertones, I think it just wasn't vibing nicely. Not to mention, I like that more orange look to my contour than a gray look. But we made it work, and I felt like we were already in it, so like I could not give up. But we do make it work in the end with some powder products. I'm also going to be using this cream contour palette to contour my nose, and then I'm just going to blend it out with my finger. I did learn through videos that you don't want to bring your nose contour too down onto the side of your face. And again, this is where I said I added a little bit more product thinking, maybe this is going to fix it. Well, it didn't, but it did give me a sharper contour because I used a tighter brush and not a sponge. So the product kind of stayed in place and I didn't pick up as much product, so it did darken it up a bit, which I guess in the hindsight of things, like it is drag, so it is what it is. We need to look contoured and snatch for the quads. And then once you place your 50 layers of liquid and cream products, of course you have to set it. So I'm taking the Coty Airspun again and just pouncing it all over my face. Now you need to remember that you want to pack it into your face and not swiping it, because you want to make sure it is set and it is staying all day long. Next, we're going to move on to the eyes. I'm going to be taking the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. Now, I'm taking two shades that are very similar to my skin tone, and this is just going to help me map out my new eye shape. And you want to remember, like with drag, like we're all about like winging it up and about taking it up to the quads. You want to look lifted. So I am stopping it maybe towards the end of my eye and then just taking it straight up. And then I'm just working right above my natural crease. It's like right below my, not my natural crease, I'm working by my natural brow bone. So right below my natural brow bone is where I'm going to be putting my crease. Then I'm going to be taking this other eyeshadow palette. I forget the brand name, but make sure you check the description box. I'll put everything linked down there below. And then again, you're just going to be building up the color. Now you will see that once you see this 35O palette that's coming up next, I'm just going to be mixing these three random palettes, and I may not be showing what shade I am using, but it's mainly because I was just getting really frustrated because it wasn't turning out how I was envisioning. But I just kept telling myself, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. I did want to add some warmth back into the eye, which is why I'm going in with the orange. I just wanted a bronzy, orange, warm, smoky look. And then again, just taking a little color at a time and just building the intensity. And as you can see, the shadow does wing up a bit. Now I'm going to be taking a darker brown and Lord knows what palette. Sorry. But I'm just going to intensify the outer corner of the eye. And I had such a hard time remembering that I need to exaggerate my eye look. I was still working in my natural lid space. Even though I don't have brows, like I kept wanting to just work in this like half an inch area right above my eyelashes, and I kept telling myself, no, like exaggerate it, go bigger, go bigger, go bigger. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. You'll also see sometimes I'll dust some of the brown shadow, the blending shades onto my nose, like I'm contouring my nose while I'm working on my eye. You know, we just love a good multitasking queen. Then you're just going to keep building the intensity until you are happy with the outcome. And I just had to tell myself to just let it go at one point. Like I just had to say, you know, we could be here all night long blending if I don't just let it go and move on. So that's what I did. Next, I'm going to be taking my NYX glitter glue and applying that on my lid. I didn't actually use glitter. It was a loose shimmer pigment, but I just really wanted that intensity and longevity there, so I applied some glitter glue to hold it all in place. Again, I'm not too sure what loose pigment brand or shade this is, but always check the description box as I list everything there. But I'm just applying it on the inner part of my eye because I really wanted that area to pop. And then a little fell, so I just kind of brushed that in the inner tear duct and lower lash line. And then I'm just going to be blending the crease area and in the outer part where it connects to the darker shade, just to ensure there's a nice blend and no harsh lines. Even though it's drag, honey, we don't like those harsh lines. And then I'm just building the intensity again on the outer part of the eye. And what did I say? Multitasking queen. Here I am just contouring thy nose. And for drag, it's okay for your nose to look super duper satched, almost deer-like, but that's cute. Didn't you get the memo? And then it comes for the most terrifying part. I was so scared of this. I've never fully drawn a brow before. So I'm just using a taupe colored eyebrow pencil and just mapping out the bottom of the brow. I said a prayer and I had to do it off camera because I needed to be like literally like 2 inches away in order to get them somewhat symmetrical and somewhat looking alike. So I do apologize. But now I'm just going in with a Morphe brow powder palette, and just really darkening the tail of a brow. You know I love a dark, intense brow. Then I'm going to be taking the lightest shade in the 35O palette just as a brow highlight to just separate the shadow and the brow. I'm also going to run a little bit on the front of the brows. This is just going to help soften the front of the brow so it has a nice fade to it. Next, I'm going to be taking a liquid pen liner. This is the Ciate one. I'm not too sure what exact eyeliner this is, but again, always check the description box. I'm not going to say that anymore, I promise. So I'm just doing a very exaggerated wing. And then once I get that in place, I'm just going to take some black shadow and just help blend everything out. Kind of zoomed in a little bit closer so you can kind of see that once it hits the eye, I just blend it out and I don't connect it to the lower lash line, if that makes any sense. Then I'm just going to be taking a white eyeliner pencil and running it down the bridge of my nose and the tip and blending it out with my finger. I did see this in a drag video. And then I'm going to be taking the same shades that I did on my eyelid and just running it on the lower lash line and just really smoking that out. And I'm going to be adding lower lashes. So go a little bit extra with your lower lash line because the lower lashes are going to help extend the lower lash line, if that makes any sense. Again, another tip I saw was taking a powder puff with a powder foundation to really pack on the intensity to help brighten up the under eye area, which is what I'm doing here. Just taking the BH Cosmetics powder foundation. Then I'm going to be taking a shade that's closer to my actual skin tone and applying that to the perimeters of my face. Just remember the three on each sides. The forehead, the cheekbone, underneath the cheekbone, and the jawline. And again, we're just packing the product on, baby. And then I'm just going to blend everything together. Next, it's my favorite part, contouring. I knew this was going to be my favorite part because I know for drag, I could go extra ham. So I'm going to be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills contouring kit and just mixing a bunch of these shades and applying it on a smaller brush. This is going to help give you a more defined, concentrated look as opposed to a blended. We don't want no blended. Only the eyes are blended, honey. Next, I'm going to be taking the powder puff and that lighter powder foundation, and just help clean up underneath the contour. We kind of want that sharp line there. We have to soften up that bone structure, baby. Underneath it all, I am still on my own. Then I'm going to be taking an not orange, but it's orange tinted almost, orange colored powder foundation to just intensify and warm up that contour line. Because I felt I was looking a little gray and a little just dirty almost. But this really helped a lot. Then I'm going to be taking a Tarte blush. I have no idea what shade this is, but this is just going to add some warmth and color back into the cheeks. Then, of course, we have to highlight. I'm going to be taking this sleek highlighter palette and just applying that golden shade to my cheekbones. Then, of course, because that is never enough, I'm going to be taking the MAC Daddy Diamond Glow Powder and just pretty much apply this everywhere and love up on this product. Applying it on my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, as well as my inner tear duct as my inner corner highlight. Then, because there's just so much powder product going on, I just wanted to quickly set it with some Makeup Forever setting spray, and then we're going to move on to the lashes. Now, of course, I'm going to curl them first, and I hope I can explain this lash technique correctly. What I'm basically going to be doing is applying two sets of lashes. One is Cara, and then the other one I have no idea, was just sitting in a pile of old lashes of mine. But you basically want to start with your inner lashes and have that as close to your lash line as possible. And then as you go out, probably like you're starting your mid lash, you kind of just want to lift it and go with the shape of your eyeliner. So the ending part of your lashes aren't actually touching your real lashes. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Then I'm going to be taking my second pair of lashes, and while that glue is getting tacky, I'm going to move on to my lips. I'm going to be taking the Kevyn Aucoin lip liner. And you'll see later, I kind of go over that with a Kylie Cosmetics lip liner because this wasn't dark enough and I thought it was going to be. But again, so another tip for your lashes is when you're applying it, once you get it there before your glue actually dries, remember to lift your lashes up. You do not want saggy lashes. And that's okay if it doesn't touch and match with your real lashes. This is drag, remember? Then I'm going to be taking the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in the shade True Brown, I believe. I think so. It looks like True Brown. And I do have a really defined upper lip, so I'm just going to start with my natural lip line and then slightly overdraw it until I get to the shape that I want. Then I'm going to be applying another Cara lash. This is a smaller lashes, a lower lashes. I think it's meant for lower lashes because it was really small. And just not applying it directly under my lower lash, but just slightly below it. Then I'm going to be taking the liquid lipstick in Exposed by Kylie Cosmetics. And it was a little brown. I think the mixture of both the lip liner and liquid lip. So I added in some Cocoa K. Alright, so the makeup is finally done. Lord Jesus, this literally took like 3 hours. Whew. Who knew? Who knew? So I'm going to go ahead, put the wig on, put an outfit on, and we'll be right back. I have many talents, but being modest is not one of them.
Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. I don't think you're ready for... Ooh, snap! I look like a jolla. Vitaminsco.com. Look like a jolla. Ooh, this is a lot of hair. This is so extra. Ooh, that's not ladylike. Okay, we gonna be done with this video.